Before Smotrich and Ben Gvir took over the leadership, or like they were in the government, we would call the IDF and ask them for help because some settlers would attack us, and the IDF would come and like they will stop the attack. Now, after like Ben Gvir and Smotrich are there, they just gave them the red light to do whatever they want. And they are doing it in the ugliest way possible. They are so brainwashed, some of them, they are paid to do this work. And some of them are obliged to do this work. Like, for example, the kids at risk.
Yeah, you talked about this on our first interview that when I interviewed you in Bethlehem.
Yes.
That was a couple of months ago. You told a story, right, about what happened with your family home, your ancestral family home that was taken over, and you talked then also about this issue of kids at risk being recruited.
Yes, exactly. Like, imagine, for example, Al-Makhrur, which I talked about in my first interview. Al-Makhrur is the only green area left for us around Bethlehem district, because the rest is all taken by settlers, illegal settlement. I'm not talking about settlement which are like part of Israel. No, illegal settlement in the West Bank. Even by Israeli law, it's illegal. The rest of the area is either buffer area, which is not accessible for us, so it's because of the apartheid wall of like 2-3 kilometers wide. So you lost already the wall area and the buffer zone. Then you have the roads, which are for settlers, so they are blocked most of the time, and the settlers are only allowed on it. And even if they allow us on it, there are like sudden, or like we call it, flying checkpoint. Every corner there is a jeep of military who are standing there.
Those are those flying checkpoints, the pop-ups. They're in addition to the 900 yellow gates.
Oh yeah, definitely. Al-Makhrur, it's an area owned. Most of the lands there are owned by Beit Jala people, Bethlehem people, who are Christians even. They are not Hamas or, they are Christian people from Bethlehem. And guess what? Suddenly, a company called Haminota, which is we call it like a daughter company of the Jewish National Fund, a British company that is not even registered here in the West Bank and in Bet El or in Asyon. And they act as if they own the area, and they start registering lands that they don't own and it doesn't belong to them in the land registry, as if it's their land, with forged papers. And it happened to us. Haminota came to us under the excuse or that they say that they had bought the land, our land, from the original owner, who's the cousin of my father-in-law. Then when we went to court, in the Supreme Court of Israel, of course, we fought against them. It turned out to be that the deed they have was forged. We got them the original deed, that is the real one, from the Israeli archive. So we showed the Supreme Court that they are lying. And even in the Supreme Court, they said, okay, then Haminota couldn't prove ownership. So we contacted our cousin, and they sent us, power of attorney and everything. And now we are able to prove that this land, we don't own it, but we have the right to use it and be in it. But before we went back to court, those settlers on the 31st of July, they attacked my in-laws. My son, actually, Ramzi, was there. My son is 9 years old. And they attacked them with like weapons and guns. And the one who was on top of these like settlers and like helping them is the head of the Gush Atzion settlements, Rosenthal. And he was like shouting and with his gun on like his like beside his pants, and like he was shouting at us, and we were like telling him like, hey, listen, you lost the case, like leave the land. They kicked us out. The IDF came and protected them. When I arrived, I saw my son, who was 9, with his only toy that was left from the toys, because the rest of the toys they crushed underneath him. And he was so sad and so angry because it's not the first time they do it. But that time was like khalas, the extreme one that where they kicked us out. I approached one of the military. She was a woman. And that's what really makes me, I don't know what I can say the word, angry, sad, really frustrated that women are taking a role in this
Right.
like, injustice
And the violence.
yeah,
So
and the
violent.
violence. I asked her like, hey, excuse me, and I have it all recorded. I can send you the video. I told her like, hey, excuse me, like, what are you doing here? Like, my in-laws have Israeli citizenship. They are like Arab 1948, right? So you should protect them. This is their land and these are their papers. And she said literally, I am here to guard the settlers. She used the word guard. And I told her, what about the other family? She told me, I don't care about them. These are the orders. And we had like a step aside, I mean, and the settlers just continued their work. They put all our stuff outside the land while we were just looking at them. And then we called the police. The Israeli police, of course, because it's Area C, and my in-laws are Israeli citizens. And the police came, and guess what? They arrested my ex-husband. Instead of protecting him from those settlers, they arrested my ex-husband and took him away from the land.